I go. Made a promise to my mother, it's okay, cause I'm gon' die for this. I put my mind to this. Watch all these people, how they treat you, got no time for it. I fear no evil, got my demons, I'm just fine with them. And all these people think they know me, it don't matter to me, cause I'm gon' die for this. I put my mind to this. Watch all these people, how they treat you, got no time for it. I fear no evil, got my demons, I'm just fine with them.
All right, everybody, welcome to the 3 Point Stance podcast. I am one of your esteemed co-hosts, Kaleb, with my guy, Dee Gray. How you doing, brother?
Man, doing good, man. Excited, man, to get back for our daily update. Steelers report, man. You know what I'm saying? Basis what it feel like every week, man. So always something going on in Steeler Nation. So, but, man, once again, man, I'm excited, man. Love this jacket, man. Is that Kenny Pickett right there? And that's a shirt, jacket, sweater? Oh, shirt. Yeah. Should have known it. You're the biggest Kenny Pickett fan in the world. Should have known it.
Had to wear it after his Luke Combs concert where he was shotgunning a beer on stage, you know. Had to wear it for this episode.
Did you see the Laney Wilson came out with Duck Hodges' jersey on?
Yeah.
I don't know, Duck. Something going on over there, Laney. Something is going on over there, Laney.
They reached out to each other on Twitter. She hollered back at him.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
That how it happened? I was wondering how that happened. Duck haven't gave me the whole spill of the Laney Wilson and his little thing, but all I know he was posting like all the time, like maybe a year and a half ago, like all right before he put his retirement thing in. It was like he's always on stage everywhere with Laney Wilson. I was like, who is this lady? You know what I mean? But yeah. But anyway, that's how I be kicking the show right now on all Laney Wilson and Duck Hodges. Shout out to Duck, man. But, man, go ahead, Kaleb. Kick it off for us.
Yeah, let's, it's coming to the big day. We got the schedule release coming out. We got some big games this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And strength of schedule right now, we are towards the bottom of the league in strength of schedule. So that's another, that's another plus side to this outlook.
Yeah. Definitely can help out, you know what I mean, a little bit what I'm saying, get things back rolling in the favor for the Steelers right now. And I mean, they can look at this two ways of like, oh, we play trash teams and sleep on them and lose and look even bad, or they could take advantage of this opportunity and dominate their competition because that's what it's looked like they're supposed to do because of the strength of your schedule, and use it as a way to propel them to continue to succeed. And I'm saying to get them something rolling for us years to come. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think it's great for him. I think his schedule is really good. I think it's great talent on the schedule, man. There's some good teams they play this year. Like, man, the Jags, man. Who thought the Jags were going to play that well last year like they did? They played super good last year. And I mean, Trevor Lawrence has came along, man, as a good quarterback, man. So, definitely, man, that's going to be a great game to watch, man. And others, man, you know what I'm saying? The Browns is always going to come with the heavy hitters every time. You know what I'm saying? The Bengals. I mean, the whole conference, you know what I'm saying, it's a tough conference. Playing against them every year is always tough. But some of the guys outside of the conference, like the Jags, the Patriots, San Fran, like those going to be some great games, man. So,
yeah, and just off the top of my head, I see 3 rookie quarterbacks that we could possibly be facing this year. We got the Colts. They got Anthony Richardson, which it sounds like he's
Texans.
Probably going to be the week 1 starter. CJ Stroud should probably be the week 1 starter for the Texans. And, your former team as well, the Titans, we could, depending on the timing of the game, Will Levis could be entrenched into that starting lineup by that point. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here.
I think this schedule, man, it's great competition for the Steelers, man. It's great. It's a great test to see where they are this year. You know what I'm saying? And Canada, man, is definitely a huge part of this offense, man, where it comes to him propelling himself and getting those guys more ready than ever, man. He got good pieces on offense, man. And starting with his quarterback, his leader of the offense, man, with Kenny Pickett, man. I think this guy has tremendous upside, man. I think that he's a huge leader for those guys. I think, man, the way Kenny has been working his offseason, man, I think he's working harder than he ever did, man, because he not only that he's working hard for himself, but he's working hard because it means something to him, man, in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited to see all these games, man, but definitely the conference, man. I mean, the divisional games, man, because those where it gets real scrappy at, man. On the road in Cleveland, the dog pound, man. It's going to be real scrappy, man. And I mean, I want him as my QB because I know he's going to go to war, man, every time, man. He's going to lay it on the line, man. And So yeah, man, I'm excited about all these teams on it, man. Some great teams on this list, dog.
Yeah, and that's what I'm taking a look at the schedule. I'm thinking like, Kaleb, what games do I think are going to be, the primetime games this year? And I kind
Yeah.
of, we kind of talked about it before, the episode started. But my takeaway is I think there's going to at least be 3 AFC North primetime games. We played,
Always got to be.
yeah, we played in Baltimore last year primetime. So I think we're going to go home in Acrisure Stadium primetime against the Ravens. We played the Bengals primetime at home last year, so I think this year that'll be an away game. We did not
Yep.
play the Browns. No, we did play the Browns in primetime, actually, Thursday Night Football. So that was the Mitch Trubisky game. That was super fun to watch, but that was more highlighted with George Pickens' catch, and I'm looking forward to that because Martin Emerson.
So you think the Bengals will be a primetime game?
It has to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, since I was there, I think I had my best game I ever played with the Steelers was probably the primetime game on that Monday Night Football. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a physical game, man. It's gonna be very entertaining for the fans, but not only it's definitely gonna test the manhood of every guy on that team because it's gonna be really, really physical, man. And the Bengals gonna play hard. No matter what their record is, they could be 0-, whatever the point is in their season, they could have lost every game. But when they come to the Steelers, the Steelers gonna get their best shot. And that's always when it comes to divisional type of opponents, man. Those guys going to bring it every week. You know what I'm saying? When you come to the guys in the division, man, because, everyone wants to be the top of the division. That's where it starts at. You got to win your division to move to anything else you want to do. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be very important that the Steelers dominate their division, man, and especially during primetime. Come on, they got to dominate, man.
That's the strength of our schedule right there. It's our own division. The Browns. They're still the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. They'll always be the Browns. They will never not be the Browns. So shout out Juju.
I'm telling you, man, it's been some physical stuff going on over the years, man.
Yeah, and like the Bengals. They're a top 3 AFC team right now. The Ravens, they're always a tough matchup regardless. All these matchups against the AFC North rivals are always, tough, gritty games. More so with the Bengals and Ravens than the Browns. But Kenny's 1-0 against the Browns as well. So, then, my sleeper primetime game is against another one of your former teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
I think
a hell of a team, man. I think a hell of a team, man. I think that's really gonna be a really good one. Trevor, I'm just so impressed about Trevor's, man. His maturity at the QB spot from year 1 to year 2, man. And when guys thought like, Trevor may be good, but he may just be very average. You know what I'm saying? Not really mounting up to that first round draft pick that they was expecting. But dude is a competitor, man. And I never had a doubt in my mind that he wasn't gonna be this good. Yeah. And yes, he blossomed really, really fast. But that's just how he was, man. Look at him. He's always worked with Peyton Manning. Like, you know what I mean? Especially at Clemson. That's his favorite player. Come on, man. Like, it's no way that this guy was going to stay trending at that low mark without hitting that spurt quick enough. Like, he had it quick. And I'm saying he rolled with it. And I think this year, man, he going to light it up this year, man. He got good weapons around him, man. He got 17, that tight end Ingram coming back, man. He got some weapons on offense, man. So, that's going to be definitely a great game for the defense and for not only the defense, but the offensive line, man, for the Steelers, man, trying to slow down Jacksonville's pass rush. So.
Yeah, and you got to think the Jags, they acquired Calvin Ridley during his suspension last year. So he's going to
that's a big one.
Yeah, he's going to be matched up with Trevor Lawrence, and, we'll get to see, JPJ, Pat Pete, and Levi Wallace go to work. So that's something I'm super excited.
And that's funny that you bring those names. That's funny that you bring those guys up because, in a couple of days, guess what's going on? Rookie minicamp is about to kick off on the 12th, man. And some of these guys, man, we kind of itching to see how it goes down their first day. There's going to be a lot of mistakes out there, man. No, it's going to be a lot of day one install plays, a lot of very ABC type like plays. You know what I'm saying? Just to get these guys moving at a fast pace and quick rate, just to see these guys change direction and just play ball. You know what I mean? Because it ain't gonna be a lot of winners and losers out there, but guys out there that get cut on rookie minicamp is because they don't have attention to detail and they don't have urgency. They just want to see you fly. They just want to see you move out there. And it was crazy. My rookie year, just seeing R.J. Prince just get cut. And I mean, he was just there that year before me. I don't know if you remember R.J. Prince, but he was a guard there, / tackle. And I was in a cold tub after day 3 of our rookie minicamp. And he's like, all right, I'm out of here, big dog. I'm like, what? I mean, we just met. You was a leader of all our drills. Like, what? And I was like, why? And I asked people, like, why did he get cut? It's like, well, he knew it, but he just didn't get it mentally. Mentally, like, he was very athletic, but he just wasn't fast and quick in his brain. Like, everything was slow motion. And you can't be that way. You got to be twitchy and quick. Twitchy athletically, like physically, and twitching your brain. Like, you had to be able to react on the spot. You know that. I mean, come on. The job you do, like, you know that as well. So, and same thing in sports, man. So I'm just really excited to see some of these guys like Broderick Jones out there go compete, you know what I'm saying, and just show his athletic ability and able to learn on the fly when, you know what I'm saying, no one knows the plays. You can have some guys out there that been in the league for 3 years, that been on practice squad, that's gonna give you a little run because they've been in the system for a while, know all the plays, and it's crazy, man. So it's gonna be very exciting to see these guys go out there and work. You know what I mean? Not only against rookies, but guys that have been in the league for 2 or 3 years that have been on practice squads.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that rookie minicamp and seeing all of them in those Steelers colors for the first time.
Get real pictures and not Photoshop pictures.
Yeah. So going back to the schedule, the rumor going around is the Steelers are going to hit the max of primetime games with 5. And I see one more game on this schedule that I think there's no way it's not a primetime game, and that's against the San Francisco 49ers. I don't see how that's not a primetime game.
I can see them. I can see them now, Kaleb, but I also can see the LA Chargers being one too. I mean, I don't know. The Chargers or the Titans as a game I can really see. The Titans or Chargers being a primetime game as well. But because, I mean, we always remember when Duck got his first start, it was a primetime game in LA.
Yeah.
You remember that? In 2020, I think. So Duck got his first start in primetime against the Chargers on the road. So I don't know. It could be the Chargers as well.
So that's the LA Rams, brother.
I mean, yeah, Rams. Shoot. Man, CTE. Yeah.
I had to go
Rams.
I had to go look at the logo. It's the two
It's
LA
not fair to have not two LA teams. I mean, in colors almost similar. Like, it's crazy.
But yeah, that's another one. I mean, the Seahawks, that's a possibility. I mean, Raiders, Rams, Seahawks. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of possibility. And then they could even want to see these rookie quarterbacks against, the number 1 quarterback from last year's draft class matched up with one of the top guys in this draft class. So that's a possibility too. The Cardinals was another team that I could see potentially with Baby Yoda over there at quarterback.
I don't see the Cardinals being one. Not me. I don't really see it.
Yeah.
I don't see them. I don't see Green Bay. I really see like the Titans and Chargers Rams, LA Rams. I see those two. And not the Seahawks, not the Colts. I really see those teams because Titans really a team that plays a lot of primetime games as well.
Yeah,
and I feel like the Rams is always one too as well. And so that's why I can see those.
Yeah, and there's a history behind the Titans and Steelers. They got a big rivalry. They were in the AFC Central before the AFC North was created. And the Titans have more recently won the AFC Central or North Division more recently than the Cleveland Browns have won the AFC North. And
oh, wow.
That was, I believe, the AFC Central was disbanded in like 2001, 2002. So
shout out to Kaleb knowing his history on the AFC Central. Y'all got that? AFC Central. Did you know that? I don't think you knew that because I didn't know that. Shout out to Kaleb. That's why he's my co-host. Yeah, man. I'm the color guy here. I just paint the pictures and make this thing clean for you guys. But man, dog. Man, so another thing, man, we definitely need to talk about, man. It's just some of the hot, like I said, we hit a little bit on minicamp, man, because I know that is around the corner, man, like little less than hours, man, a few hours away, and just knowing some of the things that's gonna go down, man, and just thinking about it, camp is gonna be loaded. It's gonna be a lot of people there. There's gonna be a lot of things online, man, a lot of things at stake. You know what I mean? And especially for like 7-round draft picks, like my guy Spencer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's going to be a lot at stake for guys like him to go out there and really prove himself because, I mean, I'm in my draft class. I'm the only person that didn't last was Sutton Smith. You know what I mean? But he got cut after training camp. But so it's hard to be a fullback now. Yeah, it's actually hard to be a late round draft pick, man. So, but one thing about the Steelers, man, I really appreciate about their staff, man, and the organization. They're very patient with players. They're patient with you. You know what I mean? I think my day one of rookie minicamp, I had a bad day, terrible. I'm talking about I got beat every time. I think Sutton Smith beat me like twice in a row. And I mean, he wasn't really that good at pass rushing, but I still lost to him. So that shows you how hard it is mentally to try to get the speed of minicamp and rookie minicamp when you don't want to make no mistakes. So I think it's going to be a lot of stake, man, for a lot of these guys. I mean, JPJ, I mean, nothing can really go wrong for him there. Whether he do good or bad doesn't really matter, because he's going to be there. But I think a lot of those guys are going to be smooth for them mentally, but I think it'll be a lot on their plate that they have to live up to a certain standard. But, man, thinking about some of these guys that chose some of these numbers, man, JPJ is wearing Ike's number.
Yes.
Ike's.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about that, Kaleb? Like, he's taking over Ike's number, man.
I love it because, like we talked about in our draft profile episode of him, my comp for him, the physicality aspect of it, he reminded me of Ike Taylor, the way he played the game, and the fact that he grew up around Ike, he grew up around that team, and just he knows the Steelers way, he knows what it's all about, and the fact that he's honoring, in my opinion, one of the most underrated corners of at least my generation in that way. I think that's awesome. I wish the Steelers would break that mold and let him go single digit so he could have wore that 5. But, you know, bygones are bygones. Standard is a standard. And, yeah, I'm hoping he has – if you tell me his career is identical to Ike's, that means he's got 2 Super Bowls. So I'll be more than happy with 2 Super Bowl rings.
So if he never wore that number, who do you think in the past that you've been around, I'd say in the past 4 or 5 years, that should have wore that number? It could have wore that number as well.
Number 24?
Yeah, who do you think like was a player that the Steelers had that whether he wore 24 or didn't wear 24 that should have wore that number?
I know Cody Sensabaugh wore it. He was okay. Wasn't great. But as far as just like an outright, I mean, Joe Hayden, you know, he wanted 23. That was his number. I mean, we haven't really had a guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Other than Joe Hayden in some time.
It wasn't really too many people at 24 in the past years because Snell wore it over the years, and he's on offense. So it was but we had a lot of guys that could have, like, I mean, it's a lot of good secondary people, man, we had. I was like, man, I was wondering who you thought in your mind over the past years that if Benny Snell wasn't on the team, like, who you like, man, this guy should have wore 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. As far as corners go, I can't think of anybody since Ike that's truly just been, you know, I'm that guy other than Joe Hayden. You know, Sutton was really good, but, you know, he came up with his – because he started off as like number 33 and then switched to 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just – I mean,
it's crazy. When you think about the numbers, man, it's crazy because how you get to pick your numbers, man. I know a lot of people was like, man, how do you pick your numbers in the league? Do you just walk up and say, well, for me, I walked up and I was like, man, because when I first came out, I wanted 55. And guess who took that number? Devin. And you think I had to say so over who get that number first? No, because Devin was the first round draft pick, so he beat me to it because he got drafted first and he was in Pittsburgh first. So he got 55. So I was like, man, I got to create a new identity. So when I got there, 77 was already picked out because Marcus Adams on the team already, him and Sean Davis. They were saying, oh, bro, they took a picture of my locker and was saying, hey, you got 77. I'm telling you, I was pissed, dog. I was pissed. I was like, man, some kind of way could they de-trade me or trade me or de-draft me and let me just keep flowing to the next team so I can get 55. Because 77 is the worst number to ever have. You come to find out, 77 is the best number in the league to have as an offensive lineman. Like, you wear 77, you are a dog. You wear 71, you're a dog. So, man, I appreciate y'all giving me 77 and believing in me. You know what I mean? Because now Broderick Jones is the new 77. For whatever reason why he's wearing it. I know there's other reasons why he's wearing it, but still, he's still a dog because now he's the new 77, man. And man, picking your numbers is a funny thing, man. When you first get there, you trying your helmets on for rookie mini camp, and you're getting excited. You're trying to figure out what cleats you're gonna wear, and everything is super generic. You don't got no like nice cleats. Everything's black and white because you just first pair of cleats you wear in the league. And it was crazy. I was like, well, all the fancy cleats, like these is just nothing but black and white, like all white and all black, like. It's crazy, man. And man, it was one of the funnest times, man, when you first got there, man, and trying your helmet on, man. So these guys is probably gonna get that experience. What's today? Today is the 10th. They get there 12th. They probably be there tomorrow trying helmets on over on the south side at the Spring Hill Suites, right down the south side, man. And it's about to be a fun time for them, man, these next 3 days, man. And be excited, man, to see these guys work, man.
Yeah, it's exciting, and you brought up Broderick Jones. Yeah, he had a really cool reasoning for wanting to wear the 77. That was his old roommate's number. He was the one who tragically lost his life in that car accident a few months back. So he's wearing 77 to honor him, which I was super excited to see, a left tackle wear 59, in my opinion, but his reasoning behind it is awesome, amazing. I'm super happy with it. We got Nick Herbig wearing 51. I expected a 91. 51's a little, it caught me by surprise, but he's going to rock it. That just means, Miles Jack isn't going to be back because that was his number. 24
was
is
his
gone.
number, definitely.
24 is gone, so Benny's gone. He's not coming back.
How do you feel about Benny? How do you feel about Benny's departure to Steelers, man? Do you feel like it was still more left for Benny to do there, or you feel like it was whatever he done, it was good enough and it's time to move on?
So as far as like special teams wise, I considered him like a top 20 special teamer in the NFL. He was always down there. He was always making the tackles, always doing this. But once the O-line, because Benny got that start in week 1 against the Giants, ran for 100-something yards. I believe he got the start. If not, somebody got injured. He ended up running for 100 yards in that game. But that was also like the last hoorah for our solid offensive line play. So I don't know if it's like if he absolutely needs that kind of offensive line in front of him to produce numbers like that, because he runs hard. Benny Snell football.
I mean, Benny is a great back, man. I mean, I can't take nothing from Benny, man. And Benny been very quiet over the past few years, man. I think Benny he took off a little bit like year 2, and he was starting to take off, and he was starting to come into himself. It just felt like once Najee came, he got buried. Him and Ant Matt got buried. It was like we didn't have a number 2 running back. We only had one, and that was it. The rest of them was just special teamers. Yeah. And it was just like, I mean, I understand that because they're trying to treat him more so like Derrick Henry. Give him all the snaps, and that's the way it's supposed to go. All the snaps goes to the premier back. I understand that. So it's just like him, I think he's going to be a great back in a different system. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like Commander somewhere. Yeah. Like somewhere like that. Maybe a good one. So, yeah, man. I mean, I just happen to see him on social media, and they see him like, man, he must be done in Pittsburgh, man. I don't see too much about him anymore. So, but man, he's going to make a great special teamer everywhere he goes, and he's going to be a good back in certain systems.
Yeah, and obviously the emergence of Jaylen Warren kind of put that to rest. But they're, 2 different styles of play. Najee. Yep. Najee has a different element to his game, but as far as the bruiser aspect of it, him and Benny are similar. But yeah, I mean, I was excited when we got him. It's sad to see him go. Maybe one day he ends up back in Pittsburgh. I think him being gone opens up that third running back spot for Ant Mac, though. I
Yeah.
think Ant Mac, as far as whatever Canada envisions offensively, because that man has zero excuses anymore to not be successful with the way everything's gone.
Hey, here we go with the Matt Canada talk. That's my guy. Hey, slow it down, buddy. Pump your brakes, brother. Pump your brakes. But, man, we have another interesting story, man, over the past couple of days, man, that's kind of been brewing through Pittsburgh, man. And I think this is like a topic that it's kind of touchy for me, man, that when I think about this guy, man, he worked his tail off. And I think you might know, man, Mr. Report Ineligible, Zach Banner, man. And,
yeah,
man, it's sad as, man, to see that he's still struggling. I wouldn't say struggling, still overcoming an injury that happened maybe 2.5 years ago, 3 maybe.
yeah.
That I've watched firsthand, man. I watched this guy transform his body into the perfect right tackle spot, man. And him and Chooks, man, battled it out. And both of those guys are my homeboys, tight. I'm talking about tight boys. And to see one take a spot over the other, it was just like, I want both of them to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to see Banner take that spot, man, and actually play, and I was like, man, because Zach, man, he worked his tail off. It was all like he was always getting rolled. Like the coach was riding him. Throw your hands, punch, set, firm to set. Don't get pushed back. Things like that. And he started to come along. It started to make sense to him. And then he got his body right. He lost all his weight. I'm talking about anybody seen pictures from USC, almost 400 pounds, if he was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And he lost all that weight, man, to get his body in the best tackle shape to go out and go compete on Sundays, man. And to go, I remember I think it was my rookie year. It was year 2. It was year 2. And I think I was inactive that game. And I was inactive that game. And he was playing well all game. And I think it was second quarter, he had got rolled up on. And to see the tears just flow, man, as they carded them all, he knew it was bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knew it was as bad as it was like currently in 2023, meaning that he's still going to be fighting this battle. But one thing I'm going to tell him, even when his leg does get where he needs it, it's still going to hurt because mine still hurt. I'm just saying that. It still hurts. Zach, if you listen to this, it still hurts. But to hear him say basically that he's still not recovered yet, so basically he's losing out on money technically because he could be back in the league if his surgery was done correctly, but it wasn't. So that's why he's still recovering. And as I think about it, man, he putting tweets out. He put a tweet out, man, maybe 6 days ago, say, I also been missing for a while. And I want everybody to know that I've been working out and trying to get my knees back in shape. And basically, I've been working out and training my knee as well. I am not retired. I'm simply just a bigger man who has needed more time to get past a devastating injury. This man clearly wants to play ball, man. And clearly something is wrong with his knee that needs to get right. So my thing is, I've heard so many different things that he's going to go at the Steelers doctor, medical staff, and all this other things. But at the end of the day, man, whatever needs to be done needs to be done. If he chooses to go to the courtroom way to do it, hey, I feel like everything is very necessary because when you talk about someone's health, then this injury can affect your mental health, all types of things for guys. You know what I mean? Because people depend football heavily. This is their life. You know what I mean? And when things are ripped from him like that, man, mental health is serious, man. So, man, ZB, man, I saw that. It just kind of touched me because I just remember seeing them tears come out as they carded them off, and he just knew it was done. But I don't think he knew that was going to be done to this point. So, what was your take like on Zach Banner, man? Did you like him as a player? I mean, I know he was a fan favorite.
Yeah, I loved it. Like as a person, I mean,
best nipple rubber.
Yeah, I mean, like you just see what he did off the field in Pittsburgh for the community, everything like that. You watched and saw like how hard he worked to get to that position, and just like he defined what you want in a Pittsburgh Steeler. You know, he's working for everything he earned. He earned that spot against Chooks. And now, I mean, that injury, you know, sadly it benefited Chooks. I'm sure, Chooks would have loved to see Zach Banner, you know, prosper and thrive in that position because I know that offensive line group in Pittsburgh is always a tight-knit group. But yeah, you hate to see stuff like that because you know how hard the guy worked for it, and you hate to see that. And I mean, you're a bigger guy yourself. I mean, you know what it's like to come back. It's harder for the bigger guys to come back from injuries like that.
It sucks, man. Knee injuries suck, man. I mean, I could just say that now. It sucks, man. It still hurts now. I currently play now. It still hurts. But you find ways to navigate it through PT and physical training, always, and ways to keep your muscles in a certain way and relaxed and never tight to keep those things working the way it's supposed to, because it's never going to work the same as it used to be before it was broken.
Yeah.
So Zach, man, was a big man, man. It's going to take, I mean, a lot of people said, man, ACL is going to take about 9 to 12 months to recover from. But when you're talking about a guy of that stature, it may take 24 months, man. It may take longer than that. You never know. But only thing about that is when it takes that much longer, you become irrelevant to the league.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you don't want. So that's kind of why for instance, why I chose to play the USFL, because you don't want to become irrelevant. Because the fact that you go years and years without no type of film, no type of football play, you're pretty much done. You know what I mean? So before you do that, you better find a different league to continue to make film and continue to play on TV so people can watch before you completely, you know what I'm saying, say I'm trying to get back in the league with no film in the past 3 years. So for Zach, it's going to be big for him to figure out what he's going to do outside of the league if he doesn't get a shot. Because if he plays another league that can give him the opportunity for coach to believe that his knee is back healthy and he still can play, because if he just think he's going to get a shot, that might be over with for him. I'm just saying it's been too many years. It's sad, it's touchy, but at the same time, man, he was my guy. You know what I mean? I hate to see it for him. That's my guy. But, man, I'm talking about this is a great man. If you think about some of the things he done around Pittsburgh, from going out dressing up in clown suits and dressing up on Christmas Day and going out by the point and just talking to people with the media crew. I mean, dude loves people, man. He loves communicating with people. He loves just being around other people. So he thrived off that. So and that's kind of how he literally became who he was in Pittsburgh, because of that simple way of living. You know what I'm saying? And taking his platform and what people liked him as reporting eligible, and became making shirts out of it. So he really knew how to use his social media to connect with people. So
Yeah.
But I think ZB will be fine either way he goes, man. He has a good heart, man. Smart kid, man. He has a lot going on for him. So he'll be fine either way. So with all that being said, you got any more on ZB before we get into our 3-point segment?
Yeah, I think anybody in the NFL needs to go give that guy a chance. Hopefully, it's the Steelers and we bring him in to potentially be the sixth eligible offensive lineman again. And if not, I hope he gets his chance somewhere else, because he definitely deserves it. Because that's a dude who has worked his ass off for quite some time.
Yep, I agree. Well, now we get to our 3-point segment. Boom, 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 boom. Turn us up, Kaleb. Turn us up, baby. Kick us off with the first 3-point stance.
So we're the first one with the schedule release about to happen. What individual matchup in one of these games are you most looking forward to?
Man, I'm looking as I look at this schedule, man, Kayla, like we just talked about a little bit previously, about a few minutes ago, man. I look at this schedule, man. It's a great schedule, man. I think that first of all, we talked a little bit about the primetime game. And I think Jacksonville will be a very much of a primetime game. But I also think that the matchup between Walker and Broderick Jones, the two Georgia boys kicking it off against each other, man. I love the trenches, man. I think that's going to be something to watch on a Monday night game, man, and just to see them square it off, man, them Georgia boys go off at him, man, and see how Broderick hold up against that guy, man, because he's starting to play well, man. He's starting to come into himself as well, just like Trevor Lawrence did, and he's going to be something. He's going to be a wrecking, man, in this league for a while, man, as he continue to keep taking strides like he was. So, me personally, my matchup personally and game time action will have to be, you know what I'm saying, the Jazz taking on the Steelers, man, prime time action. Broderick Jones versus Walker.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows their ins and out better than two guys who battled it out in college together,
My point.
So, for me, I mean, I've been saying this for weeks now. It's JPJ and Jamar Chase.
I knew it.
I know Peasy Jr. is his own person, but I need Peasy Senior mentality in those Cincinnati matchups because all I can envision. I remember Joey Porter, growing up watching him play. He's taking a hit out of the oxygen, and he looks at the Bengals fans. He's saying, "I'm tired. I'm tired of beating y'all's ass." Like,
we need all that.
Yes.
We need all that.
And I'm just because obviously in week 1 last year, Minka got in Jamar's head because there's an infamous picture out there of Jamar flipping the double birds at Minka, and it's glorious to see if you can get in
Trust
his
me,
head.
I remember we watched that game together. I remember that, and we did a show about that one.
Yeah,
that was a crazy game, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, you called. Yeah, I remember you called me after because I remember they scored that touchdown. I'm like, it's over. I'm at work. I'm watching it in my room at work. I'm taking my stuff off. I'm like, some guy, Dan Melstead comes into my room. He was like, it's not over yet. There's 3 seconds. He was like, all right, come in the day room. Come in there. I gave him my hat. He wore it backwards, and Minka blocked the kick. And I'm like, okay. And then he put his hat sideways, and Chris missed one of his field goals wide right, and I was like, it's obviously the hat, so you need to wear it straight backwards. And his next field goal attempt, he nailed it. I think he missed another one before that, but yeah, it's all on the hat. That's why I had a
very superficial.
That's why on social media I had people pick out a draft day hat for me. So the hat that worked is why we had such a great draft.
Oh my gosh. This guy. Man. What was our second 3-point stats we had? Okay, ZB. My question was, if ZB does get another shot, ZB stands for Zach Banner for you guys. That was his nickname. ZB, man, if he gets another shot in the league, man, do you think the Steelers will be his first rolling point?
I really hope so. I do, because, one, it'll provide depth, because, let's be honest, he's been out of the league for 2 years, obviously, so it's going to take some time to build that up. And, potentially, he did beat out Chooks once. Chooks, I think, on his second to last year or last year of his contract, so that right tackle spot could be opening up eventually. I would love to see him back in Pittsburgh, just because the man he is, how hard he works, and shout out Zach Banner. More than welcome to come on the show if you ever want to.
I'll let it get Zach on here, man. That'd be one of my targets for next show. Let's see if we can get ZB out here. And we can kick off the last one, man.
Yeah, we got record predictions. What do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 2023 season are going to finish the season like?
It's very tough, man. I think I'm gonna have to go with right this year, man. I might go with like a 9-8, man. Like a 9-8, man. And it's 18 games now.
Yeah,
18 games now, 18 weeks, so 7. Yeah, I got to go with like a 9-8, man. I don't quite think they're gonna crack the 10-game double digits just yet. I'm just not stuck on it yet. I look at the schedule. They have very much winnable games, and let's be real, they had a lot of winnable games last year, and it didn't happen for them. So it's like
happened.
It's like I'm looking at the Ravens. They play them twice a year. Bengals twice a year. Those are always going to be on it, and those are always going to be question marks because the Bengals are playing well. Cleveland always play hard and tough whether they lose or win. And then you have Lamar Jackson just coming off that deal, so he's pumped right now. He's back to MVP Lamar now, and he got weapons over there. So they got Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? So you have good guys, even though they say the strength of the schedule is the lowest. Is the lowest, right?
It's the lowest
rank.
It's one of the, it's like 25th or something like that.
So with that being said, it's like it's not really that low in my eyes when you think about individual matchups, man. It's some individual matchups. It's like, ooh, got some war daddies there. You know what I mean? And so we shall see, man. And we shall see.
So I'll run down this list real quick. I think, at least worst case scenario is we split all 3 divisional games with all 3 of those guys. So there's 3 wins. Cards. I think we're gonna beat them. There's 4. Don't think the Packers are gonna be as good as they were. There's 5. Jags. that's gonna be a tough one. That could go either way. So I'll give that one to the Jags for right now. Future episodes I might not. Patriots. We're gonna beat them again, or not again. We should have beat them last year. We're gonna beat them this year.
See what I'm saying? There you go, winnable games, but they gave it away.
Yeah. Well, that was also a Mitch Trubisky game, so we don't count those. And, it's a different mentality now. I mean, our assistant GM went out and said it. He said, we've built a team that's going to break the will of your team. And that's Steelers football right there. I mean,
so with all that being said, what is the ultimate record?
Well, hang on. I'm still running down the list. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. We're at the 49ers now. That's going to be it's going to, whoever's playing quarterback, I'm going to give the Steelers the win. They're 7. Titans, 8. Texans, 9. Colts, 10. Raiders, 11. Rams, 12. I mean, that's what, 13 and 4? 13 and 4? Yeah. 13 and 4. I'm going to go 13 and 4. Kenny Pickett's going to ball out.
Caleb, what are you sipping on over there? 13 and 4. That is quite a jump, man, from last season this season. But I mean,
you had no jump. Hold on. You had no jump.
Before, huh?
You had no jump in your record. You have them at the same record as last year.
I mean, I'm just looking. It's some question marks on there, man. It's some real capable teams on there, man. Of 9-8, man, is where I'm going at for right now. I just got to see where this thing goes at, man. But
that was
right
9-8. That was 9-8 with TJ missing 6 games too.
So you know what I'm saying? We just never know. Right now, I'm gonna stay right here with balance at 9-8, man. And still have potentially can make the playoffs at 9-8. So I mean, it's not like it's all the way out the door, but it's there. It's some ifs in there. It's keeping me from going to 10. But by the way, all the Steeler fans, they might not know. The Steeler fans that have been watching our show previously before we got with Steeler Nation, Caleb doesn't never bet against the Steelers. So Caleb, he could be going against the 2005 Baltimore Ravens defense with Terrell Suggs, and he's still gonna say the Steelers going to blow him out. Like,
it's crazy.
So by the way,
that team didn't win the Super Bowl that year. The 2005 Steelers defense did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I'm just saying they had some dogs on that defense, man. I'm talking about, man.
I feel like I'm watching Holes right now. D's just over there digging out. He's digging himself a hole.
Hey, yo, man. But, man, I appreciate it, man. By the way, man, Steeler Nation, man, please, man, my birthday, man, you know what I'm saying, currently right now. So, man, make sure y'all, man, give me some B-Day love. But anyway, man, appreciate y'all, Steeler Nation, man. Continue to rock with us, man. Caleb, see y'all next show. Caleb, got anything?
I don't. I apologize to Steeler Nation for D's insanity with the 9-8 record. We all know it's going to be 13 and 4. We all know it's going to be 13 and 4.
Well, I'm hoping for that, man. I'm hoping for that.
And Joey Porter Jr. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Peace.
Oh, 100%.